Hey guys, it's Clay, CPAP My Way, CPAPMyWay.com. Today I am here to introduce the new AirTouch N30i. It comes with some nice little packaging here. This one happens to be a medium. I'll go over sizes in a little bit. ResMed sent this to me about a month ago for me to try out. We've also got it on the website now and we're actively selling it to people, but it's only been a few days of that. I used it, had some friends and my wife use it to get you guys some feedback and to come up with a nice little overview of my thoughts on it, as well as sizing and all the operational features. So in this video, we're going to go over all the little specific points about the mask so you can get to know it a little bit better. Then we're going to go over sizing, what sizes are available, how to properly size it, how to put it on and fit it. Then we're going to jump into maintenance and go over how to keep up with the mask. We're going to finish up with running the mask at multiple pressures on this AirSense 11 here. I was actually kind of surprised with the outcome, so I'm looking forward to showing you that. And then I'm going to finish up with my thoughts overall on the mask, including some pros and cons that you'll want to keep in mind if this is a mask that you're going to consider. As always, we really appreciate it if you hit with a thumbs up, subscribe for more information or content like this, and comment with any questions, especially as always, if you got experience, don't pass up letting other people know what you think about this mask. It really is beneficial to the community. So let's jump in and get started. All right, so let's just look at it real quick. I want to kind of define what's unique about this particular mask. As with ResMed's AirTouch N20 and AirTouch F20, those no longer use silicone touching the face. Well, this is the same concept with this, but a little bit of a deviation. There is no foam on this mask. It is like a silicone based cloth, I think is what they call it, or silicone infused cloth. Anyway, it's cloth instead of foam. So that is unique to any of ResMed masks. This would be the first time that something like that has been used for a cushion by ResMed. Additionally, you'll notice the frame is completely surrounded in cloth as well. So there is no silicone touching your face, your nose, anywhere. The other thing I want to point out right off the rip is if you're using a ResMed machine and you switch to this mask, it is considered a pillows mask. So go into your settings and change the mask settings to pillows. The other thing to point out is that this frame is not unique other than it's being surrounded by the fabric here. And I mean that it will fit the standard N30i cushion as well as the P30i cushion. And then vice versa, this little AirTouch P30i cushion will fit the N30i frame and the P30i frame as well. So if you were just trying to try this out, you could order the cushion. That's separate as well. I'll have a link in the description to the mask as well as to the parts. So if you just wanted to order the cushion and wanted to save a little money just trying out this particular seal, and you already had the N30i or P30i, you could do that. It'll snap right into place. All right, with that being said, let's jump into sizing. This particular cushion here is a medium. I like how they make it clear as to which size you're using. The cushion is available in small/wide, that's one size, small wide, medium or large. Most people, it seems, are going to be medium, especially if you have a narrow nose, or if you have a little bit broader nose, you might be the small wide. The rare one is probably going to be the large, and that you got a pretty good schnoz there, large, long hand wide. The medium is what they sent to me for demo. I think ResMed knows I must have a pretty pointy nose, and so guess I'm not going to take it out on them that they judge me, but they did send the right size. The frame here is a standard frame. You'll know very clearly. I like how they print it on the inside there. It is available in standard, which is what the majority of them will come with, or a small frame. Rule of thumb is if it's getting down on your ears, as in this part here, you need to go to the smaller frame. That means it's setting too far back on your head, and you don't want it kind of touching your ears. So to get it away, you got to go to the smaller frame. Most people are going to do just fine with the standard. But that small frame is available, and again, I'll have a link to it in the website. And the final note here is that it will be available in a fit pack. This one I got here is just the medium with standard frame, but you can get the fit pack. The fit pack won't include a large cushion to my knowledge. From what I can tell, you're just going to get the medium and the small wide, which will fit a majority of people. All right, let's go on to fitting this mask, and we'll show you what ResMed recommends as far as putting it on. The first thing they did recommend, which I actually like, is to take your clip loose here and go ahead and attach it into the tube of your CPAP. They recommend pulling this basically down from the top. Kind of let it rest on your top of your head like that. Pull it under the nose, and then these straps on the side will pull the frame backwards, allowing the mask to come up tighter against your nose. So for the sake of this, I actually kind of pull the frame back manually myself to where it needs to be and kind of get it in place, and then tighten up the straps. Okay. And so it's on there nice. It's a really easy fit. And then of course taking it off, you know, you can just pull the straps back. And then once you've got it sized correctly, you know, and it's a good fit, I kind of like just grabbing the back of the headgear, putting it up against my nose, just pulling it on and then setting it right on my nose. That's my preference for this particular style of mask. If you need to tighten it up, again, you just kind of pull those straps, and then you will kind of have to adjust the frame back a little bit. So sometimes as you pull backwards, it won't pull the entire frame and you end up kind of like a bow in it. So I always recommend kind of pulling the top back as well to get it lined up to where you want it to be. Okay, that's how it fits. All right, and as I said, I like that taking this loose, especially for your initial fitting, taking the quick connect loose, because now all you got to do is, you didn't have to fight the hose and everything as you were trying to fit it for the first time. You just snap that on, it's already secure in place. All right, so we're gonna fire this thing up. And for the sake of just showing you what this is like as far as a seal goes, I have ran this setting all the way up to a 14 with no exhalation relief. So 14 is a pretty high setting, and you're gonna hear quite a bit of airflow, especially since I'm trying to talk while I'm doing this. So I will turn it down in a minute so you can get a better understanding of the sound level at an average setting. We'll run it like a 10, but I just wanted you to see that at a 14, this cloth mask is sealing really, really well. I am genuinely surprised. I ran it up as high as a 16 and had to adjust it just a little bit. Had some leaks out the side, you know, but man, it's comfortable. I'm not feeling any pressure. It really kind of rolls around on the nose. Hopefully you can see that there, because it really inflates well. It's kind of like a balloon on the front of your nose, under your nose, I should say there. And so, you know, I could definitely lay down pretty much face first into the pillow, and it's still at a setting of 14. I'm not leaking at all. So yeah, that was surprising to me, I'll be honest. Just for the sake of you hearing it, I'm gonna run it for a few seconds at a 10. The exhalation on this mask is so diffused that you can put your hand really, I mean, right on it, and you can barely feel any draft coming out at all. You do have a little draft on the top, but typically that's not bothering anybody, right? Because that's going towards the headboard. Just for the sake of understanding, it is a setting of 10. Very comfortable, very, very quiet. No draft whatsoever. All right, so let's jump to my thoughts on the mask. I found it to be extremely comfortable and soft on the face. Additionally, we've had some people with these types of over-the-head masks that have complained about the silicone on the top literally pulling their hair out and causing bald spots. I know that may seem a little wild, but we've heard it. This particular fabric-wrapped frame, completely fabric-wrapped, is going to do away with that altogether for sure. The other thing about this cushion here, now we're going to get you a nice little close-up of it, is the part touching your nose is completely cloth. Right, so it's kind of like a dry fit shirt, which I'm sure you guys have noticed that's about all I wear. And it wicks away moisture. So, you know, obviously as you exhale, you've got that moisture coming in and out of your nose. It dries out very, very quickly, and it won't get, I don't know, you know, sometimes that silicone just kind of makes it a little bit sweaty and soggy wherever it's touching your skin. So with this, it shouldn't have that issue at all. The same thing that made the N30i really nice is the same on this. You can kind of see it through the material there, but there's that spring-loaded frame, so it does a really good job of when you get it in place, it stays in place as long as you're fitting it correctly. Every now and then we have some people complain, you know, that it moves a little bit, but it's designed to do that. So you got to fit it correctly, and as you move, it'll give you a little bit of the adjustment and pull that you need going side to side. The other thing I wanted to I'm sure you saw in the video, this cushion was extremely comfortable and effective. I was really surprised, especially once, you know, once it inflated with the pressure of the mask. It really just kind of floated on the end of the nose with the pressure from the CPAP. So I genuinely think it's going to be a significant winner, especially if you get the right size. Make sure you get the right size. If you're getting the fit pack, you will have the nice little sizing gauge, same as the N30i pretty much, you know, just put your nose in there. I'm obviously a medium. And if you were a wider nose, you'd have the small wide of the large. All right, and the final positive I want to point out about it is that I don't mean to take away from the memory foam masks, but I was thinking to myself, like, how in the world are they going to make a memory foam work when they first started advertising this to me on a nasal cradle like this? But the material here is not memory foam, and so it won't have the drawbacks of memory foam. So I think it's going to last a lot longer than the memory foam, potentially. Obviously, we've only been demoing this for about a month. It hasn't really had any deterioration so far, and I'm thinking that it's going to be a plus compared to the memory foam. Memory foam is great for people, but this I feel like is going to last longer, and it's not going to have the drawbacks of, you know, having to do special washing techniques and things like that like the memory foam does. All right, so let's go through a few of the things that I'm going to see as a little bit of a drawback, or at least considerations to make with the mask. It's going to take longer to dry out when you're maintaining it. As far as maintenance goes, since I kind of skipped over that, it is the same maintenance procedure. Warm soapy water, soak it, rinse it really, really well. They recommend doing the cushion daily, the frame and headgear weekly. Make sure you dry it out all the way before you go to use it, and that is where I feel like we're going to kick off the drawbacks just a little bit. Because it's covered in the fabric, you know, there's not as much airflow inside, so it's going to take a little longer to dry out, obviously. So if you're gonna do your maintenance, do it early and let it dry out throughout the day. The other thing I'll point out is that it's a new mask with some really cool features. It's gonna be a little more expensive and probably gonna be a little more limited by some of the insurance companies that are out there. But I think you're probably gonna get what you pay for on this. So far, so good. I'm digging it. The other thing I'm gonna keep in mind for everybody here, and especially as you guys get some experience with this, please offer some feedback. But anytime they put a seam like that somewhere, you know, where the silicone is meeting that fabric, it concerns me a little bit. You know, is that going to stand up over time? Obviously, with the AirTouch version, sometimes the foam and the silicone will separate a little bit over time, you know, making it not last quite as long. The other thing is, you know, the features are awesome, it being covered in cloth, but if the cloth tears or, you know, you get it caught on something hung up, probably going to mean you need to have to replace the entire thing, because it's, you know, aside from like taping pieces, or if you're like somebody that's good at sewing, maybe fixing it yourself, you're probably going to have to just replace the frame or the cushion or whatever tears loose entirely. And the final thing I'll point out is a little bit of a drawback. When you've got fabric, it's more difficult to maintain. You can wipe down silicone in seconds, you know. Fabric is going to take a little bit more of work to keep it clean. Probably going to have to clean it a little bit more often. But overall, I feel like those cons were pretty minimal. This is a cool mask, and I really didn't try it out anticipating that I would feel that way about it. But it is. This cushion works really, really well. It kind of reminds me of the old, some of you old school people out there are going to remember the Circadian Sleep Weaver. I don't even know if they make that anymore. I don't think we carry it. But it was a really popular little cloth mask that sat on the tip of your nose, and tons of people loved it and refused to switch away from it. This incorporates all of the modern features with the things people really loved about that cloth. All right, so that's it. We'll have links to everything in the description. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit us with a thumbs up. Avoid the thumbs downs, those hurt my feelings. If you could comment with any experience with this, I'd really appreciate it, because this is a new thing. It's definitely gonna have, you know, some feedback coming from people. Put it in the comments so that we can all share in this together. And subscribe if you want more information like this. We try to keep videos like this coming. Thanks for watching.